Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of uranium. Uranium is one of the most cheap commodities on a ratio basis to gold that there is. Platinum's another one, silver's another one. But these guys they're heating up. They're heating up. We've had some scary times these past couple of days. Our accounts have gotten slaughtered on some of our accounts. And today it seems like we're trying to find our footing. We're trying to find some footing here. That's good. It's slowing down a little bit, at least the downward movements in some of the companies. Other ones have reversed. So let's take a look at the charts. Let's see what's going on. I'll give you my opinion on what Finding Value or Andy would do. Again, it's just my opinion. Please don't use it as advice. And then we'll get in here and do a look at this, and I'll tell you what the charts are doing. Sprott Physical Uranium Trust. We're finding that support. Right now, we've got two big down days, though. So this may have a little bit more momentum behind it. It highly depends on what happens tomorrow, I think. We could see this run like heck. And you know what? I'm in it. I'm holding on. Whichever way this thing goes, I'm going to go with it. This is like my stream. I think over time, the market fundamentals of this, in my opinion, we have to go higher. It's not an option of if we go higher. We have to. We have to bring more mines on. The deficits are too large into the future for us not to do it, but it may require patience. We are still cheap. We've got the right market conditions for commodities to do very well in, and this is our first kind of gut-checking kind of pullback that we've had, and you're going to experience more, unfortunately. It's going to be some volatile times, but we've broken the trends, downtrend break, or chart pattern break, I should say, and we've broken to the upside, and now we're just flailing around. Maybe we'll do that barrel pattern where we come back and forth and then launch. But everything looks okay at the moment. We're trying to find some footing. We still have good downside momentum that we have to work off. URNM is also putting in that hammer pattern, the hammer. Is this hammer time to go higher? You know, I don't want to say yes or no because this thing has been incredibly volatile, but it does look good for a bounce. Now, what we want to see is we want to see what it does next. Are we going to get some big buying pressure to really move up? Or are we going to get a small down buying pressure where we roll back over and come back into this zone where we get another buying opportunity? Kind of like this guy in a little kind of shoulder head shoulder type movement where we come back here and we get to buy some more cheap shares. I don't know which one it's going to do, but this is a bouncing candlestick. What's next is we need to see if we get a fat big old up day like this where we've got the momentum and we just blow out of here. That's a possibility. Or do we get little guys that don't really go anywhere and we roll back over and fall? That's not for me to determine. It's for the market to determine, and that's what we're going to look at. That's what we're going to look for. BNNLF, Bannerman, this here looks great to buy, in my opinion. This is a retest back here. So if you guys are interested in looking and picking up shares, this is where I would do it. Nice, good pattern break to the upside, the return move. I fire it off. That's just me. Goviax, I'm sure all these are doing it. If you notice, they're all doing it. Here's the return move right there, tapping it. Would I be tapping it at 28 cents? I would be tapping it at 28 cents. Tapping that buy order. Will this go straight higher? I don't know, but this is where statistically you have a good probability. If we dive back down, we've got the market fundamentals and market conditions that are back. So you just have to hold on and then sprinkle in more. But that's the way that I view it. Global Atomic hit its head on its all-time high here. So we hit our head, we came on back. We hit our head, we came on back. We're starting to regather. Low, higher low, and there's a higher low somewhere in this range here. If this holds, we come back up and we make another attempt. Man, that's an ugly looking chart, guys, what I just drew all over that. So we just hit our head, we came on back, and maybe we're going to attack here again. Forces Metals is also throwing in similar patterns. They're all throwing in similar patterns. We have a large resistance line where I drew this line. We tried breaking through, it hit our head, and we came back and we're resting. What I'm looking at next, where are my lows at? Are we going to continue to rocket this, come back less where buyers are buying this up? And I think we are. So I think this is eventually going to work its way up. Pure Point Uranium, similar day to day, just as all the rest. It'll get moving. Patience here, guys. Really just sit on your shares, man. Deep yellow, we've got that nice, good, big barrel pattern. You get like a kind of back and forth movement like this. And then usually you get a break up. I kind of like this drawing, guys. That's not too bad of a drawing. That's your barrel pattern. Usually you get a launch from it. Will it just go straight higher? I'm not making that claim, but it could. It could, and that's why I'm not out of my shares. I'm just holding on. Paladine Energy, we are slamming our head, hit 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 our head. And what I'm looking at now is, what are the lows doing? Are we getting lower, or are we getting about, this is about the same? Obviously you can throw a trend line on it if you want. There's your trend line, and we've been moving back and forth between it. So are we gonna just rip higher? Yeah, we'll find out. But you know what? Around this line down here, 51 cents, I'd be a buyer for sure. Sky Harbor looks like it is skying upward. 10% today, not too bad. Again, we've got a lot of selling pressure. We come up, sell off, come up, sell off, come up, sell off. And then what do? We're coming up, we're selling off. Now, what do I look for? I look for how far we're pulling back. Here we pull back, here we pull back, here we pull back. And is this all we have to muster? Our lows are coming up. We are coming up, and we're going to attack this region of these sellers up here. We're going to keep hitting them. It's like knocking on their door. Bam, 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 getting the price and just smashing into them. So that's what I see there. Canalaska, this guy is oh, nice wick at the bottom there. I'd be a buyer. That's me. I'd be a buyer right now. Why? Because we are trying to break out of this massive pattern. This is a cheetah in the making. I think this could be a cheetah once we break out of here. Lots of resistance, and then you break it, and you're into freedom from that psychological containment that the pattern had on the price. We're dancing on top of it. This is a return move. I'd like to see it go sideways or higher. That's what I'm looking for. If you see it, Canalaska, it's a small Canadian exploration company, a lot of risk, so I wouldn't be just piling into it, but, it's up to what you guys want to do. I add a little bit in. That's me. Little sprinkles. Next Gen Energy. We've been moving on up in this barrel type pattern for NXE. Yeah, we came on back. It looks like it's holding its own. We'll see if this holds or if that momentum is going to bring us down a little bit further. Base load. I saw that this was down a lot today, and then it looks like it came back up. Momentum's coming back up. We can see that in the daily candlestick charts. Well, maybe we can't see it. There we go. You've got kind of this downtrend type movement. You break to the upside of it. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a break. This is on a 5-minute candlestick basis. Each of these candlesticks is 5 minutes. We've broken out of this downtrend line, and we're looking for a move higher. Hopefully the momentum can continue. Let me back out here real quick. I'm just going to remove that guy. Fission 3.0, it's getting a little bit of a bounce in its step. This is a bullish piercing pattern. Bullish piercing patterns like to move higher. Fission Uranium, we've got another, this is a bullish piercing with a little bit of wick at the bottom. Usually these go higher, but that's looking good. We are backing out. We've got this kind of barrel pattern that goes back and forth inside this pattern for a potential break. So that's looking good. Everything looks good here, guys, for a long-term perspective. The short term, remember, the short term is the most volatile. It can move on anything. News, I don't care what it is. It can just move all around. Let it move around. CCJ is holding its own right here. I'm just looking low, higher low, higher low, higher low. That's what we're looking for. Keep it moving forward. If it keeps moving forward, we're good. Kazatomprom getting hit, down 13%. I don't own anything in Kazatomprom. I know Rick Rule really liked this one, but it's not looking too hot. Almost a shoulder, head, shoulder type deal forming. Peninsula Energy. Yeah, whoa. That was a crazy looking thing. Because that one trading day back there. It looks okay. We're consolidating back here. This is a retest move. I'd be interested in it. This guy, every time we come to this line, it's like the line of resistance. We're trying to break through and we just sell off a little bit every time we hit it. Consolidated uranium, this is the line we got to break. That's the line in the sand. And we've got, you want to look for these like bowl shape or higher lows coming up into it. That's what we're looking for. But it's looking fine. We've got a nice good hammer pattern there. Lotus Resources, again, it hit its head. We might put a little handle on this. And what this is a cup and handle. That's how the pattern's formed. That is what the pattern means. You get resistance, and it's all about the buyers and the sellers creating these patterns. You hit its head, and then the sellers kind of slowly leak off. And you're like, okay, we're going to run at it. Hit again, you hit your head, and then you come back. But the lows aren't as high, and it creates this pattern. And that's what the human psychology is behind it. It's hitting resistance levels that people may or may not know are innate to the human being. Uroy's looking good, guys. I would be getting me some Uroy. That's myself. I like Uroy quite a bit. Again, we've got this kind of pattern that's developing here. It's a barrel pattern that Jesse Livermore has shown. This is a bullish. It's a bullish piercing almost. This is the midway point, but still it does qualify. We got the wick on the bottom. The way that I kind of look at this is a 5-day candlestick, and you just draw a trend line down, and it broke the downtrend line. That's what these candlesticks, the meaning behind the candlesticks is. If we zoom out a little bit more, we also have this pattern here that we've broken to the downside. Now, this is on a 30-minute chart. This is a 1-month, 30-minute chart that we've broken, but we've broken this downtrend line to the upside. Now we got to see what we're going to do. We got to break back above this downtrend line. Now, if you zoom out, we're just playing with this little trend line here. That's all we're looking at is the very short term. ENCUF. Oh, wow. We got 5.22% today. That's good. Go ENCUF. We're in this pattern here. It's coiling up. What I would do is, yeah, I bought it. I'm sorry. I didn't buy it today, but I've been buying it in this section in here, guys. It is one of my favorite companies. I own it in my health savings account. I know it's great. And if we break this downtrend line, that's what we want to break. We want to close above 130. That's our goal. UUU got what I need. This is a little hammer pattern. It's a small one. We're right below the support resistance line, but that's looking okay. URG up 3.7%. This is a bullish piercing pattern. I'm expecting it to be a reversal pattern. Again, we could go sideways before we move up, but I'm favoring a move higher at any point. UEC, another one that's just hanging out there. I had a massive down day. We'll see if this massive down day needs a little bit of time to consolidate before moving on up. Again, we've got news coming out tomorrow. It can be wild. It could be a wild day tomorrow. And hopefully it's for the good. Centrus Energy, we've got the hammer candlestick pattern. I would do a little bit of BUY in here. That's me. It does have a lot of momentum to the downside, though. Lightbridge thrown in the hammer pattern. These are usually reversal patterns, so maybe sideways to then up. We'll see. ISO Energy up day to day, 1.94%. It is engulfing the one of the opening price. It's not a reversal candlestick. It is a hammer pattern, though. That could be a reversal candlestick. And what I want to see is, what are we doing next? Are we going to come up and roll over, or are we going to blow out of here? And I can't tell you that. We got to find out. The market's got to tell us this. Appia Rare Earths, I would be a buyer right here myself. That's a breakout. That's where I like buying, is in this general vicinity. That's me. DNN, another one that's got right at the support resistance line. That goes all the way back here, guys. This is a strong resistance line. We can see that we've tried to break it. Boom, hit our head on it, sold off. Boom, sold off. And now our highs, the lows are higher lows coming up. So that looks good. Hopefully we can break through here and get a run on. Blue Sky Uranium looks like the Twitter people are still buying it. I've got no problem with that. I own a little bit of it. It looks okay. Looks good. Forum Energy Metals. bullish hammer pattern. I think it looks good down here if it were me. If you want a higher risk exploration play, a lot of these are high risk guys. This guy looks good on a long term. Let's go log on it. You can see those lows coming up, and if we can break this resistance line, I think it's going to be doing quite well for Anfield Energy. LMRXF, let me get off the log here for a second. Here's our resistance line. We're resting on top of the resistance line long term, and we're coming back a little bit. Hammer pattern today. I like it down here, guys, like at the 50-cent mark. That's a beautiful buy there on this return move. Really strong selling pressure in Western Uranium. It does not like getting up by that resistance line. Maybe it's going to find some support where it's at. UEXCF, UEXCF, UX Corporation, finding some support right where it's at. Hammer pattern looks good. I like it down there. Mega Uranium also coming back. We've got support right underneath it. I like it right where it's at for some dribbles of money in there for myself. Standard Uranium, yeah, it came on back. It's finding some support, hopefully, right where it's at. ALXCF, just moving sideways there. Azincourt, this one's coiling up right into the corner here. At any second, it could blow. And then we've got Valor Metals, which also has uranium. I put this in uranium. Let me do what we're doing is we're moving sideways here. I'm going to zoom in on it. We've broken to the upside. We've just got some selling pressure up here that we're dealing with. On the dailies, you got this big down day. We might have a little bit more momentum to the downside, depending on what happens. But I don't mind it here, guys. I kind of like it. I would be a buyer here. I don't own any of this. I would be a buyer if I had money. I just don't have the money to be thrown in all these companies. But it looks good, in my opinion. So it doesn't look that bad in uranium, guys. It looks like things are turning around. It looks like we're trying to find a bottom. Will this be the bottom? I can't tell you, guys. I don't have the crystal ball, but we've established that anyone who's in uranium has steel balls to ride through this stuff. It is some gut-wrenching volatility that we've gone through. But it looks like we're trying to find a bottom. If we rocket higher, all the better. We could sit and bounce a little bit to work off that downward momentum because we had some pretty big, massive momentum down days that we have to work off and turn around. That's the way that I view it, at least. If you guys like this type of analysis, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Join the website if you want to. My website's findingvalue.com. It's in the description link. You just have to click it. In order to view the information, you have to sign up. It is silver members get the education stuff. Platinum members get the education and the picks and charting and all that stuff that some of it's already uploaded, and it's also my personal picks that I'm doing before I do it. What I'm buying, where I'm buying, and all that stuff. So if that's interests you, go ahead and sign up. That's up to you. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.